Super Mario Holiday! Oh, woohoo!
We can turn those lights off. Does that help?
What, with the heat or?
With the heat.
Unlikely. I don't know. Would it? They're your lights. How much heat do they kick out?
They would definitely help.
Yeah, get rid of them.
Speaking as a film lighting person, if we kill these ones, there you go.
Toodaloo. Wahoo! Wee a good night to you.
I don't know how long I'm going to last.
Well, Peach is quite sexy.
It's true. It's true.
Some...
And the people of Delfino Isle.
Oh, I know those people wobbling noses.
2002. I bought this on release day.
God, I think I might have.
I think I went to Choices in Cheyenne and then came home on the bus with it in my sweaty mitts.
Wow.
Yeah. Same with definitely Metro Prime. Fucking Metro Prime is such a wonderful game.
Do I have a... Oh, sorry, everyone's having a beer, I'll have a beer.
Go on, mate.
It's just the one to wet the baby's head.
You're not driving.
Not that you should pour beer on babies.
I think you should. Fuck them. They're stuck up, aren't they?
Pretentious little
Pretentious.
whiny bastards.
Oh, I just done a fart, I'm sorry.
Sucking on, but come on, man, we can't open anything.
No. It's like being in a submarine.
Wow.
It just slipped out. I didn't mean to. What I do make a point of declaring my farts, so I just think it's, it's
Mine are often. What's the opposite of silent but deadly?
Mine are loud but proud.
Like, yeah, but they're not aggressive. The sound can be a little much, but then the. Oh yes.
My brother says that.
But they're not stinky. They're just. Their bark is worse than their bite.
Whereas mine is kind of a dog that would have to be put down by law. I mean,
blame it on the dog, and you have to call the vet.
I don't want to mix my metaphors, but my brother often says it smells like I eat cat food.
This thing.
Are you starting from scratch? You're just at the fucking.
Yeah, I bought. I realised when I bought the GameCube round here, so Liam could test that it worked on the TV. Years old. We're not playing it on. You need to play it on a TV that's about 20.
Yeah, look at it. It looks wonderful on that because I used to play it in my room on a little 14-inch TV like this.
I remember getting Super Smash Bros. Melee, and the graphics on that were, you would never seen anything like it.
I tell you what, so the thing is that did it for me, the reason I went on a GameCube I got a PS2 later, but the reason I went on a GameCube was because of the remake of Resident Evil. And that's why I wanted it, and then I ended up becoming this huge GameCube fan. And the remake of Resident Evil still looks fucking incredible. And the one they've released on all the current generation consoles and the PC is upscaled to 1080p, but they haven't changed it, right? And the graphics are still fucking incredible. The character models and the creatures and the items, because all the items are in Resident Evil 1, you may remember, dear viewers, that all the items you could take in your menu and you could rotate in 3D.
Yes, you could examine them.
You could examine them. They carried that over to the remake. It's not in Resident Evil 2, the original. And man, I play that game still. One of the things my Christmas tradition is to pull my GameCube out and play, because Resident Evil 2 is just the Dreamcast version portable. But I have it because it's a nice way to play Resident Evil 2 on a console, because I had it on PS1 originally. But the Dreamcast version, Ben has all the extras, you see. And I pull it out of storage and I play Resident Evil 2 every Christmas. And then I've just get me a bit of Resident Evil 1, which I also own on PC. But
I have a little thing that I want to do. I want to own a copy of Resident Evil 4 on basically everything.
Alright, so have you got the GameCube version?
I've got have I got GameCube? I've got PS2. GameCube. I think I've got it on the Wii.
Right, yeah. Did that have the
it's
Wii
like
motion controls?
You used the Wiimote for it, and it was the easiest and best way to play Resident Evil 4.
I always wondered, because I have the GameCube version that I got at launch. I've still got it. I've got it on PC, and now I have the remake on PC as well. But I always wondered about that GameCube version because I remember the excitement of the Wii version. the excitement of the Wii being this. And I always wondered about that Wii because it seemed kind of groovy to me, but I never played it with the Wii.
Yeah, it was. Oh, I could not hold it down all the way. That's what I'm meant to be doing. That's how I run. I see. I was totally paying attention when they were explaining everything to
I've
me.
been bending your ear off with my nonsense. I'm sorry.
No, it's fun. That's the point.
It's
Nonsense.
Filibuster. I'm sparing you from being alone for 4 hours.
Thank you very much.
I've done lots of. I'm not going to say Hills of 4, but or 6 or whatever. I've done many gaming streams, as you perhaps know, and quite a lot of them. I used to do most of them with Ivan, but I've done ones on my own, and it's a lot, man. I don't believe in dead air. I'm not one of those streamers that will just sit and not talk over a game, so I have to talk constantly.
Yeah, you don't want there to be dead air, but there is still things that, like, I know that if I started doing Battle for Middle-earth 2, I would be talking to the game, but then I know that I would probably start focusing. Like when I was playing Pikmin earlier, there was a bit where I'm like, oh, I should do talking.
Yes, yeah, you do, right? You do.
I'm just really enjoying I'm really enjoying playing games.
Yeah, you lose yourself sometimes. I totally get that. So my thing was, yeah, I think my gaming streams, the most popular ones I've done are the kind of horror, survival horror stuff, because that's what I'm known for. So all the Resident Evil, Alien Isolation, Silent Hill, anything kind of adjacent to them.
Those I think because they're shouty. You engage in the thing, and I think I would get too scared if I. Why's that happened?
Oh. Wait, because OBS is still. I do not know Liam's setup, mate. OBS is fine.
Behold this sketch of the perpetrator based on eyewitness
Well,
description.
he probably won't be asleep yet.
Yeah, get him.
The guilty party sits among us.
You don't even have to filibuster.
None other than Mario.
Overruled. I judge the defendant guilty as charged. I hereby order the defendant to clean this entire island. Until Isle Delfino is completely free of his foul handiwork, Mario shall not be allowed
He's gonna put his dick
leave.
away for a second.
Charge
Is this the keyboard?
That is the keyboard. We didn't press it. Did we press something?
No, I'm just going to tell the chat.
Mario, data analysis.
Liam is fixing things.
Are indeed troubled by pollution, but the pollution itself is not the main problem. Mario,
Yeah, press refresh.
witnessed this object at the airport.
I did wonder about that.
It is a shine sprite. Shine sprites are the
I see it.
Oh, there we go. Cool.
Yeah, just refresh on that and it's all good.
Sweet. Thanks.
That's a Twitch thing rather than us thing.
Okay.
Night, Liam.
Night,
Wow,
Liam.
Twitch looks like YouTube now.
There is no longer any power.
So that was Twitch just being weird. It was nothing that we did. We didn't fuck up.
Go, Tim.
Excuse me.
Do you want to know how to? Do you know the grounding phrase for doing Christopher Walken's voice?
Go on.
You have to say, "Wow, what a big barn."
Wow,
what a big barn! There you go. Wow, what a big barn! And for Gordon Ramsay, and it's important you say "but" and not "bum." This is one of Duncan's things. His grounding phrase for a lot of people is "round the corner, up the bum," but for Gordon Ramsay, it's "round the corner, up the butt." So, round the corner, up the butt. Round the corner, up the butt. Yes. Fuck me.
I do like how often he says yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, we're doing this, yes. And then he'll do something. It's like, we put butter on the bread, yes.
Butter, yes.
Bread, yes. On
It's
the bread.
fucking raw, sweetheart.
This
Yes.
is what it needs to be. This
You
is what we
do.
do. And then he'll be like, and then we get the lobster and we use the rolling pin, yes, to get all the meat out of the lobster. And then we put it in a crown, yes. Like,
Yeah.
what? No.
You go-
What are you?
when you do a yes, one of these. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
National dish. More like national disaster. Fuck me. Yes. Round the corner. Up the butt. Yes. Says Duncan, man. He's a fucking genius. Man's a genius. I think he had his round the corner up the bum was like his Nigel Farage. It was like round the corner up the bum. Like that. You know what I mean?
I do like the I went to go and see Dead Ringers Christmas special.
I only just found
like
out those
some
guys
time
were
ago.
still going on the radio. I
Yeah.
had no idea. I love that. This is very scatological.
And there was they did Boris Johnson, and it was Boris being sensible, and then there was bad Boris. And to do Boris Johnson, just
Slightly kind of slightly carry-on-ish.
yeah,
Terry
he's
Thomas-esque.
a fucking joke.
Yeah. It's alright, he's not in office anymore. But the Yanks
No, but he's not in prison, which is a shame.
Yeah, the Yanks are going to bring back Trump despite the fact he's fucking...
Don't do. I mean, you did it first time, and you thought it was going to be a laugh, and then
That and Brexit is like, I can't rule anything out. I can't rule because we both... I remember, do you know what? I was in Barcelona doing a job in end of 2016, I guess. Yeah, and Brexit just happened.
yeah.
And I met this American lady, she worked in tech, probably California because of the kind of attitude she had for the situation. She was like, oh, I can't believe you're so conservative, I can't believe you're so right-wing. And I said to her, you're American, firstly, and secondly, enjoy President Trump. And she went, that's never going to happen. And I went, that's what I said 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And then November rolled round, because it was
Yeah.
October I met this lady. She's a very, very sweet lady, I can't remember her name. And then in November, I was sat at home just like, yeah, there you go.
I was sat in the Swan,
Right,
watching it happen on TV, and I'm just going, I'm getting another drink. I think for Brexit and for Trump, I was sat in a late night boozer going, what the fuck is happening?
What the Christ is this? Trump in particular, I was sick as a dog with flu, and I woke up the next day and Trump was in, and that was what tossed the coin over whether or not I go to work. And I was just like, because I felt like physically shit, but then like I was psychically shit, and I was like, I just called in sick.
Yeah.
And actually, that was the day I was a few weeks later due to go to Belgium, Christmas. Belgium, or about a month later. Belgium, China. And that was the day I had my passport photo taken, which is still my current passport photo. It was the flu-ridden, you know, existentially depressed Jackson who walked over to Sainsbury's across the road to get his passport photo. There you go.
My passport photo is terrible. The one that I had before this one, I was having like the best fucking day. I'd slept well for a week. I'd drunk enough water. My hair was great. I was looking even this bit. I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm happy that I have that for the next 10 years. I need to make sure that I stay similarly rested and hydrated and well when I have to get it redone. I think 3 hours sleep, hangover, and I had to run to the photo booth to get it done because I had to get a train to get to Peterborough.
To the passport office. Jeez.
I looked an absolute mess. It was a nightmare, but hey.
Well, I'll tell you something. I've got quite a wacky sort of passport situation. In that last year, I travelled a bunch for work. I was a very lucky boy, and I did a lot of international travel last year. Work and leisure, I did really well. Very lucky, very happy. And it brought into focus a situation that had been around for a while. In that every time I go through passport control, returning to the UK, you know the kind of robot passport self-checkout
thing that goes.
area.
Yeah.
So every time I do that, I get rejected every single time, and I always have to go see the guy. And the last flight back in last year, I was like, I'm not even going to the fucking robot. I'm going to go straight to the dude.
Yeah.
I don't want to waste my time. And when you're with it, I was like on a stag do last year, and everyone was like, oh, dickhead, they all got through. I didn't get through till half an hour later. Well, so anyway, I go up to the guy, and I go to him, mate. Every time I go through, every single time this happens, like, do you have any insight? Do you know what that would be? And he just goes, well, oddly enough, you're in the same situation as me. I have a very common name. You have a very common name, Richard Jackson. Basically, someone with the same name as you did a crime, and they haven't apprehended him. And until he gets caught, this is going to happen to you every time.
No.
Because that person's a flight risk. So every time you return,
you're going to have to do it.
I'm going to have to do it until they catch this guy. And my middle name is Richard James Jackson, so I don't know if it's the full generic name.
Or if it's just enough to
Richard Jackson, yeah. And he was like, you're the same as me, I have the same problem. I've got a very common name, someone's done a bad thing. It's fucking wild.
Wow. I mean, it's almost good that that's a thing for security, but it's a pain in the dick for anyone who has that name.
and it's a fucking ordinary name. Because both my brothers have Gaelic names from the Scottish side, so they're Niall and Callum. So they got something a bit interesting.
Yeah.
Captain fucking Generic. I'm named after my granddad, who was James, the most ordinary Scottish name going, I think, in the middle. So I've just got this straight up fucking, you know. So I've got the same name as someone who's done a terrible crime. Or it could be a very ordinary crime.
Or it could
I
be
don't know.
parking tickets.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, fixed penalty notices. This looks amazing on this television.
I feel like this. I feel like it should be HD Switch remaster or something.
Yeah.
But if
wonderful.
if I put this on my big telly at home,
yeah,
it's gonna be
don't put it on a flat screen.
polygon as fuck.
I fucking put my, and do you know what it is as well? It's like a bit like N64 when you put GameCube on like a modern television. It's fuzzy, really fuzzy.
Yeah, it's not like crisp lines or.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
very crisp. What do you I ask honestly, because when I do game streams, I like to talk about kind of gaming and mechanics of gaming. What are your feelings on Shigeru Miyamoto?
Night, Chai Bunny.
Oh, sorry, I've been boring.
That's alright. Bye, Sai. I think.
Oh, size off.
What do I think of Miyamoto?
I sort of wanted to instigate a conversation about authorship in games, and I wonder because I think Miyamoto, if you put him next to Hideo Kojima, right, like, I do think Miyamoto is like a genius, right? I think he's an actual bona fide genius. I don't think doesn't reflect on his qualities as a human being necessarily, but I think if you play the first level of Super Mario Brothers on the NES,
Yep.
which is not the first Mario game, because you've got Donkey Kong and you've got Mario Brothers, the arcade game.
Yes.
So
The first home console one.
yes, that one, Super Mario Brothers, the first level, World 1-1.
Yep.
It teaches you how to play the game without any verbal instruction whatsoever.
Yes.
The layout of the level, it teaches you to play the game.
You've got to jump. You've got these are the things. That
But your
first
character has-
Gumba probably has killed more people than any other.
They run right into it, right?
Yeah, because no one knows what to do at that point.
And something that people forget, I think, well, they don't forget, but it's something that part of the nuance of like Super Mario Brothers is like your character has momentum, so you gather momentum.
You,
right?
you run and you jump. You do the running jump.
And it becomes really important in Mario 3, right? You gather momentum and that. And
Put your little hands out.
with your Tanuki suit. Yeah, I think it's I just think it's one of the most incredible pieces of game design, and it's so, and I'll go one further. I think that Nintendo as a whole has become the Disney of games, right? Kids fucking love Mario, and it doesn't go away, right? Mario's Sonic's done very well. Sonic does very well. So my cousin's son, who was staying with us at the moment, he's 9. And he fucking walks up and he's got a Knuckles and a Tails thing hanging off his little pencil case. You know? And
Nice.
Sonic games have sucked for ages, right? Like, Sonic Mania was great, but like they haven't done original...
Yeah, there's not really been any good. There's not been any like Sonic Adventure 2s since Sonic Adventure 2.
Oh my god, yeah. And Sonic Mania was a very wonderful revisit of the old games, you know.
Well, wasn't it? Was it fan made or?
It was a fan-made
a lot
project
of it
that
was
Sega wisely adopted. Yeah. And you know, I think those brands have real staying power, but I do think Sonic is kind of an island. I think, and they're very big, important gaming brands within Sega. But I think Nintendo really are, because it's not just Mario. You know, it's Zelda, and it's not just Miyamoto either. It's this kind of stable of things that's very meticulously maintained and looked after. They've become. They're not competing with Microsoft and Sony.
Well, no, that's the thing.
know?
Whenever there was the big console wars, it would always be, oh, PlayStation's doing this, Xbox is doing that. Look at all the power. Look at all the things that we have. Look at all the specs. And Nintendo would just be like, we're making some fun games.
Yeah.
We've got a motion controller.
And we're being weird.
You can take our home console on the bus and play it, and it's as good as playing it at home. You can take the controllers off of the side.
Well, do you know what? Like this.
We're making games consoles instead of the end. Bollocks.
I'm not trying to be. I'm not
entertainment
trying to be
thingies.
edgy, but it's just a good example like the mainstream of gaming was like, this Call of Duty has Kevin Spacey in it, right? So it was like, we've got a movie star to come and be in the, and it's got all these polygons and it's got all this graphical shit. And then Nintendo went, your nan can play golf. And it fucking, and it democratized, just like Jackbox, right? We played Jackbox earlier. Put that in my mum's hand, she'll fucking get it straight away. You draw lines on the thing.
Yeah.
You don't need, you put that in your granny's hand and tell her to swing it.
Well, that's why it was called the Wii, because it was like, okay, now everyone in your house can play video games.
Right, like inclusivity.
We've made everyone our target audience.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think, you know, and what I find interesting is that, you can tell I don't get to talk about this much, right? The kind of process of doing that, Nintendo aren't competing with Microsoft and Sony despite existing in the same space. And one thing they've done consistently well is like, they don't give a shit that Sony had 2 handhelds that did okay. Nintendo's the only one that's ever had any staying power in the handheld space, really ever. You know, we've had our Atari Lynxes, we had our Sega fucking Game Gears, what are they? The Game Boy into the
Game Boy Color,
SP,
3DS,
into the DS, all of that, and then they've kind of, and you would think it would be, because they have these 2 prongs of business, and they were the only ones who did handheld, and they had their consoles. But they've deliberately merged the 2, because they've binned off the DS now, because they've created something that's both. And they've consolidated those in a way that I don't think anyone else would have thought of. It's I find it. I think the economics of gaming, and I think I don't know. There's something about Nintendo that's so. They have a kind of magic to them, and I think it has that kind of candy-coloured Disney-ish.
I hope this is. Sorry, I just worried that was going to kick me out just because I picked up a coin. I was like, no, I've climbed this fucking fucking windmill.
I love that, you know, the little bonus levels in this when it plays the World War I theme. And it's like a choir. Wonderful. So good. So anyway, that's I don't get to talk about this much. So
no, it's fun stuff to talk about, and like, I mean, this is as much fun to play now as it was when it came out. I just know a bit more what to do, but I still remember what to do because I've played this so many times. It came out 20 years ago, and I'm still just like, oh yeah, I know to slide and jump at the end of that to go on the thing and the boing up and the boing up.
Yeah. Do you know what? It's like watching a Don Bluth movie or kind of 90s Disney. It's just like, you immediately know what it is. It's unmistakable. Things can, like, I get Ratchet and Clank and I get Spyro, and they're lovely and they have their own personality, but they're not a Mario game.
Nah.
You know, and not many things can really imitate it. Do you know what? I still play Mario World on the SNES. I think it's one of the most incredible games. It's got this ridiculous depth to it. I think from that 16-bit generation, Mario World somehow introduces really kind of like core RPG elements, right? So there's depth to it because you can die, but you're not supposed to. You're supposed to go back and know where to mine lives and mine resources. So it covertly has a real rich vein of resource management in its gameplay that's not signposted. I think that's what Miyamoto does. He knows how to show you something without showing you something.
Yeah.
And that's why I think he's a genius. I really think there's a really good. And the other one for me would be Streets of Rage 2 on Mega Drive. It's one of the most amazing games ever made. And it's not as deep as Mario. Oh! Don't move to Norwich, move to Brighton, and then I'll make you play Streets of Rage with me.
Hey, I ain't got to live in Norwich forever.
That's true. I'm going to come and make you play 16-bit games with me. Streets of Rage 2, wonderful game. I won't bore everyone about that. I'm boring you about this currently. I need to stay on one track. Streets of Rage 2.
We got time to fill. We can chat about shit for ages.
Filibuster. Or Philip Buster, to give it its full name.
Philip Buster?
No.
Went to school with him.
Did you?
No. That's one of my favourite just go-to jokes now. Went to school with him, well, that's what they called me at school.
Oh, mine is, that's my favourite techno DJ, is when somebody just says a ridiculous phrase. This is my favourite techno DJ. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh, no, not Justin Roiland, he's a pedo or whatever.
Oh, there is, yeah. But they're still making Rick and Morty, but just not with them.
Did you ever watch Solar Opposites? His thing on there?
No, it was one of those things that because I think when Rick and Morty happened, same as like when Family Guy and American Dad came out, the market was then just flooded with
Similar things. Lol.
flooded with basically the same sort of stuff. So when Big Mouth came out, Big Mouth was great, and then there was a lot of stuff like Big Mouth, and Rick and Morty. There was lots of stuff like Rick and Morty.
Because Solar Opposites was a thing co-created by Justin Roiland. And Solar Opposites is great if you fancy giving it a chance. And they've gone balls out, so they've recast Justin Roiland's character with Dan Stevens, the British actor. From like, he's in Downton Abbey and The Guest and stuff.
Okay.
And they've come straight out the gate, they got way out in front of Rick and Morty, and they released the first scene of the new episode, and it's he gets a dart in the neck and they shoot him with a voice changing ray, and then suddenly he's just Dan, and he's not even trying to be like, he's just Dan Stevens doing a funny British voice because he's British. And he does the whole wrap up and he goes, "Oh, by the way, that voice changing ray, it had chronotons in it, so I'm going to sound like this in flashbacks. All right, deal with it." And it just ends. it's fucking. And I was like, "Fuck, man, I love Solar," because Justin Roiland doesn't write shit anyway. He was just turning up, being a creep, and doing voices and everything. Basically.
Yeah.
He would appear.
Someone said that you'd like basically tried to make himself unsackable by voicing main characters, and they were like, no, we can still.
Yeah, so it's not like the writing's going to suffer. So yeah, Solar Opposites is a really cool show, and I was immediately taken by the character's called Corvo, and Dan Stevens' version of Corvo. I was like, I fucking think Dan Stevens rocks. Like, and his take on it is great. It's completely different, and they don't care. And it's like, yeah, I'm going to sound like this in flashbacks. Fucking wonderful. The whole Christmas episode was based around the movie Jingle All the Way. But anyway.
Have you seen, have you seen Tour de Pharmacy?
No, never heard of that.
It was like, I think it was HBO, like a short 40-minute movie done by, I think it was Andy Samberg.
Oh,
Sorry,
cool.
Andy Samberg. John Cena's in it.
Oh, amazing, done.
Orlando Bloom. There's loads of people in it. Basically, one year in the 70s, the Tour de France, so many people are on drugs that it basically gets cancelled apart from these 5 people.
Is it animated?
No.
Oh wow!
It's live action.
Amazing.
John Cena I think he's a Swiss.
Wait, rewind. Where am I with this again? 40-minute thing.
2017.
Uh-huh.
And John Cena is a sweet dude, but just fucking built. Going, I'm very fast! I ride the bike very fast!
We have to protect John Cena at all costs, don't we? He's amazing.
I love
Peacemaker, man.
The little meme, the little gifs of him doing the dance.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Peacemaker. I've only just seen the Suicide Squad.
Watch Peacemaker. Peacemaker, he's amazing in Suicide Squad, but Peacemaker lets that character develop. What is like? Firstly, I think wrestlers interacting totally makes sense because it's a type of theatre. I totally
Yes,
get it.
it's a performance.
John Cena he's got such an amazing gift for comedy. They kept putting him in action movies. It's like, no, he's hilarious. Man, the pathos they give Peacemaker as a character, he's really tragic, he's really sad. And there's like mostly he's a hilarious dipshit, but like John Cena sells how pathetic he is in a way that's not just laughing at him. It's kind of, it really means something, you know. You can see how he got where he got, real emotional resonance, but then he's a total dickhead. and it's great. John Cena is just, I will watch him now in anything. He was undersold to us. They kept, well, big musty guy, put him in action movies.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he's a wrestler. People like wrestling. What else do people who like wrestling like? Action movies. Put the wrestlers in action movies.
Fuck it, mate. Watch him.
Like Dwayne Johnson's hilarious in most of the things Dwayne Johnson's in.
You know he's going to be president, right?
Better him than Trump.
Well, he's the real life President Camacho, basically. Like that will we will see. Well, do you know what's interesting? Do you know that Trump is in there? Trump is the first president that's an inductee of the WWE Hall of Fame. You know that?
No.
Yeah,
Whoops.
because Donald Trump did a wrestling match once.
I remember
he's friends
seeing
with
him
Vince
getting
McMahon.
got with the chair.
So he was inducted into WWE Hall of Fame because Vince McMahon's his friend. And, you know, technically, not really a professional wrestler, but he's the first WWE Hall of Famer to be a president. There you go.
Well, fancy that.
Fancy that. Not normal that. Fancy that.
Well, do you think that in 2025 they're going to be like giving plants electrolytes?
It's what plants crave. Oh, I love some brawn dough.
Oh, it's terrifying how accurate that movie has got.
It is bad, isn't it? It's kind of like, it's one of these things because I find Mike Judge really interesting because he's actually sort of quite conservative, and that film's quite conservative. It's about how, you know, you can't let the pause breed or everyone will be a moron. Like, if you kind of look at it, and I think
It's the common folk. I don't know. I always thought of it as the idiots, but I suppose yes.
Yeah, but
the
look,
idiot, the ones that they focus on.
look what
are
represents
the poor.
the idiots.
Yeah.
Because you see the kind of white middle class refusing to breed.
And then you see the trailer
And
trash.
you kind of watch, because he's from Texas, and I don't, you know, I think in America the difference between left and right is, well, there isn't a left. You know, they have liberals. They don't have an actual left wing. It's a joke. But if you think Biden's left wing, you're fucking deranged. Like, he's still fucking. Is he sorted out gun control? They have universal health care? No, they don't. Not at all. Obama's the closest they got, and he was a warmongering fruitcake anyway. So like, it's like they don't really have a left. So it's like, oh, Joe Biden's going to bring about communism. No, he's not. He's fucking mad. He's owned by big business like the rest of them. Trump's just a fucking crackpot psycho anyway. I don't know what it is.
That's the communism that they say. Oh, it's communism. Like, it's not actually communism though. It's what. It's what some dictating fuck nuggets said was communism when it wasn't, and now everyone's gone, well, it doesn't work because look at what these countries are doing under it. No, that's not what it is.
You can die of a chest infection in your country, like, because you can't afford to get it treated. You know what I mean?
Under the right circumstances,
And you think-
murder is legal.
Yeah, exactly. And yet you think there's a threat of communism. Come to Europe, right? The fucking the Democrats are as right wing as all the conservative parties in Europe. Like, if you go to Parliament in Greece, they have actual communists. They have actual fascists. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that's good, but like, they do. And they go, wow, Joe Biden's a communist. It's like, you fucking mental. You don't even pay waiters. You just rely on the fucking public to like do it for you.
That's mad. I'm working in the pub at the moment, and Americans come in and they give you tips. Right, thanks very much. I'm on minimum wage there, so I'm not going to say no to an extra quid now and then.
Oh, of course, bless them. Like, you know, I think it's because, you know, the general, you know, I did my time in the pen. I did 10 years in the hospitality industry. Like, in this country, the average tip is 10%. Because,
well, that's what people think. That's what people think you should give.
Yes, no, that's not the average tip.
It's not
the average tip whatsoever. It's what you should do. You should give 10%.
Yes.
In the US, it's
20
because you're literally paying their fucking wages for them. It's like, and that's what fucking cracks me about British people. They go to fucking America and they go like, oh, it's amazing, I had a massive burger for £4. It's like, yeah, because the fucking waiter didn't get paid.
Because you should be paying the waiter £3 because the owners
You're paying their fucking wages on behalf of the restaurant manager. It's fucking bananas. Yeah, out of your mind. And they go like, oh, I had a massive burger and I shot some guns. And it's like, cool. Massive racism and systemic inequality. But at least you went to Disneyland, you fat fuck. It's not about weight. That wasn't right. I didn't want to body shame. But you know what I mean? And they are fat fucks. They're fat white fucks. I can say this in the middle of the night. It's fine. Anyway, Ben doesn't agree.
I
does
didn't.
agree.
Well,
you know, they're not Ben's opinions. They're my opinions. And I'm just a guest.
Yes.
Technically, I'm a guest and you failed to control me.
I apologise. It's my first time.
Sorry.
I don't.
I'm drunk on your stream. I'm a drunk that's invading.
And
your
he's
stream.
white.
Yeah, I know. White skinhead. As well.
Drinking Stella.
Drinking Stella. Oh, look at me. I'm just like a fat pink lager out. I'm 40 this year, Ben. 40.
I'm coming to see you on your birthday.
You fucking are, mate. Can't
Yeah,
wait.
man.
Can't wait.
How do I get across I don't know where the piss I'm meant to go. I think I've got to get
I've been gas bagging in your ear, that's why.
over
Oh, well, there's
there.
oil there, yeah.
Oh,
Your jetpack, it just over
I can
there.
just yeet.
I really like it. It's so sharp. It's crazy. In its natural CRT environment.
So what are we doing for your birthday?
Well,
You got any plans?
pub next to the station. We've rented the room all night from 7 till. We've got a DJ coming to play drum and bass because that's the music I like, but
Nice.
not all night. And yeah, there's going to be a quiz. It's going to be fun and games. So it's me and my mate Tim. He's also a bald geezer with a beard. One of my besties. He's 42 weeks before me, so we're both the same age. And we're so doubling up. It's going to be about 80 or 90 people there. It's going to be big. It's right next to the station, so there's that. But you can watch it on if you want.
Happy times.
And yeah,
I
can't wait
might
to
go
see it.
and stay at the fancy hotel that I normally go to.
Do you go to the ship?
Yes.
When I saw you last?
Yeah. Because I went there when it was my 30th.
And I saw
No,
you.
was it
I
30th?
saw you last year, right? That was when you came.
Yeah. Yes, because I went and I was like, I won't go fancy this time because it's not my birthday or anything. And then I looked at the prices of Travelodge. I went, oh, for an extra £10, I can stay at the fancy hotel again. So I did that.
Travelodge sometimes is £16 a night. So like when I'm working in like January or December or some shit ass time of year, I get Travelodge for £16. It's like, yeah, worth it. When graduation comes around, like Travelodge is like £300. And it's like, what the fuck? I
It's
get that it's
it's
elastic,
Travelodge.
but yeah, like I like a Travelodge, it's perfectly fine. But it's perfectly fine for up to 70 quid.
Yes. Yeah.
For up to 70 quid. Like beyond that, it's just like, dude, I'm not paying £300 for Travelodge. Like, dude, John Travelodge better come suck me off.
John Travelodge.
Well, I assume to be the founder of Travelodge.
Yeah, Travelodge John.
Travelodge John. Travelodge John Travelodge. So yeah, but anyway, yeah, come and hang out. Can't wait. Come and see us.
Yeah, I do like going to Brighton.
Yeah, we had some funsies last time. I think the second night I had a massive panic attack and ended up in A&E, so I couldn't see you. Alright. Men talk about mental health online, it's fine.
We do.
It's all good. But
Talk
yeah,
about
I'm medicated very slightly now and I wasn't then. So I kept thinking I was having a heart attack, so I go to A&E in the middle of the night. And I had one of those, I think the day after, so I had a great time having a beer with you, and then the next night I had like mad panic attack shit. Not going to lower the tone and make it dark.
I mean,
You know,
it's stuff to talk about. You know what's what now, and
I think it's good to be able to talk about it because I think that if someone is ever watching this kind of shit and they feel that way, they need to know that they're not dying, they're just having a panic attack and they can go get help. And wherever you are, if you contact your local IAPT, they will triage you for mental health and then you'll speak to a nice mental health nurse and then they'll get you pills or a therapist. So do that. It's real talk. See?
real talk
I'm not
with
just,
with real men.
With real men. I don't just draw pictures of willies, but I mostly draw pictures.
Mostly pictures. We're modern men. We can do both things.
We're modern men. We're just
We
innocent
can be in
men.
touch with our emotions and go. But I cannot.
How many did you pull one of the tentacles off?
I thought I did. I need it to go at me.
It's got to come at you before you can grab it.
Yeah, it's got to come at me and then I've got to jump on its feet.
Do you not? Do you squirt water? Does it absorb the water that you squirt in or something? Is
Hang
that-
on. That's what I've got to do.
Ah, Ben's on it. He knows.
Oh, I can flatten it and then pull it. Ah, see, you'd be able to suck one of these things off.
It's very flat, isn't it? Yeah. There's so much right in this game as well. Did you know? Are you you Mario 64 guy?
Yes.
Do you know
Yes.
what?
First 3D Mario game.
I've never. This is the only 3D Mario game I've really played, and I never got on board with Mario 64. I just couldn't, and then I missed the boat because it's too late now, kind of, I suppose.
Yeah, it would be one of those things that you'd have to get on Switch
Yeah,
and.
it feels like a weird sacrilege to me that I haven't. Because again, I for me, Super Mario World I think is the ultimate Mario game. Because everyone says, I just think it's the one with
I had Super
yeah,
Mario All Stars on the SNES.
See? Yeah, because that was, to me, that was my... Because it's all the games with punched up graphics, right? And then you got the lost levels. Because the path to Mario World was paved with Mario 3. Mario 3 is amazing, brilliant game.
Mario
World
3 not actually meant to be a Mario game.
It's Mario 2.
Mario 2.
With all the weird, you get in and go, this doesn't feel like the last
Yes.
one. Pulling the radishes out of the ground.
Yeah.
Lots of gardening.
Lots of gardening.
Surprising amounts of gardening. Birdo, yeah, and the eggs and stuff. Shy Guys. Yeah.
Yeah, there was some weird stuff in that one.
It was originally supposed. Originally it was a game called Doki Doki Panic, which was a tie-in to the Japanese TV show. Because what was called Super Mario: The Lost Levels in the All Stars was the actual Mario 2, and it was considered too difficult for the rest, rightly or wrongly. So they rebranded Doki Doki Panic as a Mario game. Yeah, I don't revisit 2 often because 2 is a bit too weird. I respect it immensely.
Yeah, it was one of those ones that, as you said, it didn't really feel that much like a Mario game. Like, I was like, well, I'll play it because I've just finished the first one, so I'll do the next one before doing the next one.
The next one. It's kind of like when you come into 3 has that kind of overworld map, and it has those kind of soft touch RPG elements. And 3 does weird shit, like you go to the giant land where all the enemies are massive and the blocks are massive and stuff. And it's just so inventive. And it introduces the Tanuki raccoon thing. But Mario World just builds on it. Mario World is just such an amazingly complete game as a thing. It's something I play a lot of 16-bit stuff still, and I just think it's just a really wonderfully complex, brilliant game. It takes you on a journey and you dictate your own path in a lot of ways. There's so many secret paths in it, so much to be discovered, because you can run through it and just finish it, but if you kind of get into the weeds, there's all this shit to discover. And I think people associate that with the kind of PlayStation, the 32-bit era of like, oh, suddenly there's depth in games. It's like, no.
There was a lot of hidden bits.
So many hidden bits. Like the Star Worlds and stuff. Oh, I love that game so much. I genuinely love it. Yeah, Ivan, like my buddy, do you know Ivan? It's the guy I live with in the house he came to visit. So Liam
would have met, but it was a while ago.
Yeah, so Liam's mum and dad know Ivan's mum and dad.
Yes.
So Liam's older brother and Ivan and Liam go back. Yeah, anyway, I don't know why people don't give a shit. But Ivan and I just like used to sit around getting high and playing Super Mario World at age 36, and I would not fucking change it. It was wonderful. We had just save games in Mario World. And we used to play insane amounts of Streets of Rage and 16-bit stuff.
It's nice when you have that sort of stuff that you can go back to, though. Like, there's... I mean, oh, right, how am I going to do that? Fuck.
Wait, so you can't clean up the oil?
Not while I'm in the water.
Doesn't jetpacking over it clean it up?
I don't think it does while you're... Yep.
Yeah.
No.
So,
Is this the one where you need to get the boat? I hated that one. Let's have a look. Like, I seem to go through stages of watching a bunch of TV shows, and then I'll reading books, playing video games, and watching certain TV shows. So I will go for 6 months and I will just be reading books. Right. I will go for 6 months and I will just be reading manga. I'll go 6 months and I will just be playing video games. So I've not really had... I've started playing Fallout 4 again. Possibly just so I've got something nice and big and chunky to get my teeth into whilst I'm moving.
Yeah, I think that's the value of games, isn't it? It's this lovely
it's a distraction thing. But I can't think of that many recently that have the sort of, I want to go and play that, and the comfort like some of the older Mario games have.
I think for me, every now and then something comes along. Because do you know what? I speaking to a fellow gamer. This is a good. There's a kind of abstract thing. It's a feeling you have as a gamer. You know when you find like a game, and when you're going about your day, when you have to be at work, when you have to be with your family, you're thinking about the game. Do you ever get that?
Yes.
And it's like you're just going like, fuck, I cannot wait.
I want to get home because I want to do that.
Yeah, I remember feeling that about Metal Gear Solid when it came out and GoldenEye, and it's like I want to go back into that world, and I've got theories and ideas, and I know how I'm going to figure this out, and I know what I'm going to do, and I can't wait to go back and try it all and stuff. And it's something that you don't get. And I'm not saying it's better or worse, but it's something you don't get from books or films. You might get it from TV shows, but you have no agency in those. You're guided through them. And I'm not saying that's better or worse, but you get that kind of itch. And every now and then I get that. Like I do. Every now and then a new game comes along, and I'll be at work, just going like, "Fuck this! I want to be home.
I want to go home and do that."
Yeah, like Terminator Resistance was one of the last few years. I just fucking like Terminator was so wonderful, such a massively underrated game. I'd just be sat around in my job, just going like, play this open world Terminator game made by 4 Polish dudes for £5 because they really smashed the low budget game. They smashed it, you know. So I still get it, and gaming will never go away for me ever. It's such a.
I think you're right with when you say like films and TVs and books and stuff. You're guided through it, whereas when you're like it's presented to you when you're in a game, you're doing it.
Yeah.
Like playing Fallout, even if I'm just going to sit down and like, okay, what I'm going to send these emails, I'm going to make these phone calls, then I'm going to sit down and I'll clear out that tunnel full of feral ghouls.
Yeah, and it's like admin.
Yeah, no, I'll get that, and then that's done. That's a tick off the box.
That's such a perfect example because you've got your game admin, and it's like, oh shit. Well, okay, so I play Project Zomboid.
Oh,
Project Zomboid.
Sorry, I just completely missed.
Oh, okay.
I do not know Project Zomboid.
I know Liam and Sai play it. Project Zomboid is a completely open-ended zombie survival RPG. Right, and it's like if you find a tin of beans and eat the tin of beans, well, you have to have a tin opener to eat the tin of beans. But if you eat them and they're cold, it'll make your character slightly depressed. So if you heat them up and put them in a bowl,
so you're happier.
But once you've eaten them, you've still got the tin, and the tin's taking up space, and he doesn't automatically drink the tin. It's insanely micromanaging.
Wow.
Right? And I'm sat. I've put 300 hours into Project Zomboid and counting. I fucking love it. And me and Ivan have a server. And I am sitting around at my fucking job. I'm sat behind a camera at work, and I'm just going like, I don't know whether there's any food right now. Like it's winter, and if I walk out, I could get attacked, and I'm going to freeze before I find tin goods. I need to get tin goods like tonight. And then I'll get on the train, and sometimes I'll crack my laptop open on the train. I'll load up my little guy. And I'm like, look, we have to find a car, get some food. Just load up the car with food. Load up the car with food now, and get it home now, and then I'm good for a week. I'm good for a real week with this guy alive. And it's like if you don't bathe him, he gets depressed. If you don't shave, his hair grows. I don't like the hair grow because I can't look like me and be bald. And like the clothes rip. And
that's
like
cool.
Currently my character broke his ankle because mine's a carpenter, so I was building like a big roof and accidentally pressed the wrong button. He fell off the roof, and he's broke his ankle, and it's going to take 6 in-game weeks for that to heal, and 1 in-game day is an hour. So I'm looking at 7, 14, 21. It's like looking at 40 hours or something before his foot's better. So I have to have him. So I've made an amazing fortress for me and my brothers and Ivan. But my character can only really sort of potter around inside the grounds at the moment for 40 odd game hours or whatever the maths is.
That's fun.
And I'm thinking about it all the time. It's crazy. It's wild. I just want to go back and the game is open ended. Like there's no story. It's just keeping this guy alive.
You're in zombie. That's the game.
Yeah, you just have to be alive. And every time you start a new character in the game, it says this is how you died because it's all hinged on the inevitability of your death. It's fucking great. I love it so much.
That's
Jesus Christ,
awesome.
so good.
I have spent when Skyrim first came out. I spent so long on that game. Like I would wake up, I would play it, and then until I was too tired. Till I had to go to sleep. Yeah. And I would end up having, and I was 19 and poor, living in my shitty first house. And I would wake up and be like, I've got so much money in game.
In game, yeah.
I've got thousands. I don't have to worry about. I know that's in game. And I sort of look around and go,
yeah. I'm in my little fucking house.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go play Skyrim.
I'm gonna go to fucking Skyrim.
I'm doing well there.
So I didn't get Metal Gear Solid 2 when it came out, I had bought a PlayStation 2 eventually, and then I got Metal Gear Solid 2, and I did my A levels at Long Road, you know. It's at Long Road in Cambridge, and I cracked into Metal Gear Solid 2 one night at about 6 o'clock, having never played it before, of course. And then I played it for 12 hours straight and just went through the whole story and explored the whole thing, because like you could complete it way quicker than that, but it was my first playthrough and I always stop to smell the roses, you know? And just shit at games as well. But it came to 6 in the morning and I just completed Metal Gear Solid 2, and I'd just been on this fucking journey with these characters, and I had to like be ready. No, it would be later. It would be about 7 or 8 in the morning, and then I had my psychology class at like 9, and I was just like, I'd been on this like amazing journey, and like Hideo Kojima games are sort of exhausting. Right? They're sort of exhausting.
Yeah.
I love them, but he's a fucking lunatic, and like I still can't. I love Metal Gear Solid. I can't play Metal Gear Solid 4. Did nothing for me. Anyway, I fucking did the whole thing, and I went to my psychology class, and I was like, fell asleep in my class, and the teacher was just like, just go. And I just fucking went home and slept. I spent the whole night playing Metal Gear Solid 2. First swing of that story mode, I just did it in one hit. Fucking wild. Resident Evil 2, I can complete in about an hour and a half, which isn't that fast, but like, I've completed that game more than any other game. I don't even want to know. When I've got an hour and a half to fill, I'll pop on Resident Evil 2 and just razz through it. Yeah, absolutely. Just shit on it. I shit on that game, and then I come out, because you're supposed to manage your resources, I come out with like 40 Magnum rounds and loads of shotgun and like fucking tons of herbs that I can't carry.
Oh, I do that so many times. Well, I can't use them. What if I need them?
Exactly, yeah. Well, because it encourages resource management. I think that's the great kind of three-dimensional thinking of video games. Like, because it's what... I used to have a very solid approach in my video game adaptations saying work, and I've been completely confounded by it. Well, not completely, but kind of confounded by it, because I loved the adaptation of The Last of Us. I thought it was amazing. I can go into reasons about that, but I won't right now. But like, you know, there's no point in making a Tomb Raider film. There's no point in making a Resident Evil film, because what I enjoyed about Resident Evil wasn't the story. It was the way that I had to make my own mistakes. It's the way I had to explore and discover. It's the way I had to retry. It's the way I had to strategize. I can't strategize watching a film. I can't manage resources watching a film. I can't make mistakes. Well, unless I shit myself. I can't make mistakes watching a film.
And when they're doing it, like, no, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, like an usher comes out and just goes, no, watch it again. Like, fuck it. So you don't get that, because I don't want to watch the cutscene. Like, Resident Evil 2 is, Resident Evil in general. Resident Evil, they're bad B movies, and I love bad B movies, but they're not bad B movies. Like, all you're doing is reenacting cutscenes. You know, like, there's no trial and error, there's no sense of discovery in games. You know, I just like, fucking Tomb Raider, if you take away the sense of discovery and exploration, trial and error, it's Indiana Jones with tits. Like, and I hate to say it, but it
pretty much.
You know what I mean? Like, and I don't want to do down... and I'm certainly not trying to do down, representations of women in games and films and stuff. But it has nothing. Like, Tomb Raider was supposed to be a dude, and then Toby Gard or whatever ended up drawing Lara Croft and creating her. And it's like, that made that interesting at the time. But like, you walk around flipping switches, man. Like, I don't want to watch that. I want to play it. I want to find the switches. I want to make the mistakes. I want to be that person.
Yeah, I guess like certain media's media for that. Media for a reason. Sometimes they do things well. What was I? Two things I watched recently: Detective Pikachu.
Oh yeah,
and The Flash.
Okay. I also
Detective
watched The Flash.
Detective Pikachu was based on a Japanese game where Pikachu is just a Pikachu with a gravelly voice, solving mysteries in a deerstalker. The Flash has like nearly 100 years of DC source material to draw from, and I'll tell you which one I'm going to watch again. It's not The Flash.
I've kind of heard Detective Pikachu is great.
It's fantastic.
Because Ryan Reynolds is Pikachu. Right?
Ryan Reynolds is Detective Pikachu. I believe it was originally offered to Danny DeVito.
Amazing.
But
amazing.
But he didn't know what... He was like, what the fuck is a Pikachu?
Despite basically being one.
but it would have been fantastic to see.
Hey,
But
you know.
yeah, it's a great film.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it. Do you know, that's really funny, isn't it? Because I think kind of society large has forgotten about that. You know, and it was kind of a big deal. It was advertised everywhere.
It was a very big deal. I think it opened the doors for Sonic, which opened the doors for Mario.
I haven't seen Mario. Sonic was totally fine. Sonic, I was like, because I think this is a situation that's gotten better. But I think Sonic was like, I watched it. I was like, yeah, this is aimed at 10-year-olds. It's perfect. If I was 10, I'd fucking love it. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not for me.
I mean, I like Sonic, and I liked the dumbness of what was going on. So I got,
Yeah.
it was fan servicey enough for me to
Do you know what
still
it was?
enjoy
It was a nice, fun 80-minute ride, right? Like,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this is fun. I'm right with this.
I think I've seen it 3 times. I saw it at the cinema, and then someone was like, "Oh, I've not seen this." I was like, "Yeah, I'll watch it with you." And then a couple of years later, someone went, "Oh, I've not seen this."
Did you watch
yeah,
Sonic
I'll watch
2?
it again. I watched Sonic 2, in the cinema and on TV.
And what were your? Because I haven't seen the second one.
Good.
Yeah.
Maybe not as. They don't do it. It's sort of like more of the same, but also fresh enough.
Mm-hmm.
So Idris Elba as Knuckles
Mm-hmm.
is hilarious.
Just to be clear, I fucking love Jim Carrey's Dr. Robotnik.
Jim Carrey as Dr.
Fucking
Robotnik
great.
shouldn't have worked
So-
until he stepped on screen and you went, "Oh, absolutely, that's 100%."
It's great. He's like a truculent little narcissist. It's
The
great.
time for talking is over. It's time to push buttons.
Yeah, man. What did you think about? Did you watch Mario?
I watched Mario.
Jack Black as Bowser. That's great.
And
That's
I'm
great.
so glad because I saw like the first couple of trailers and I was like, oh dear, Chris Pratt as Mario doesn't work. I refused to listen to Peaches, the song, until I'd seen the movie. And I'm so glad that I did. I like how have you seen it?
No.
Okay, they get around the Chris Pratt not sounding like Mario thing quite well, almost straight off the
Was
bat.
it like because they're doing the accents?
They
for
did
their
the
advert, right?
accents for the advert, and then they just talk like
thought-
Chris Pratt and Charlie Day.
I thought the advert was very cute. I
yeah,
really liked it.
and have you? I don't know if you care enough about spoilers, but I didn't want to listen
No,
to the song or
spoiler,
anything
go on.
like that. So Bowser wants to marry Princess Peach, and that's why he's stolen the Power Star and is going to the Mushroom Kingdom. I didn't know that, so when Bowser, big Jack Black burn goes, "Do you think Peach would like it?" and starts like is like a shy, almost teenage boy going, "Peaches, you're so cool,"
Oh,
and he's trying to impress
because
this
he's
girl.
sort of pathetic, right?
Yeah.
Like it's the great kind of villain.
I didn't see it coming, and I thought that it was hilarious.
Well, you know what I kind of think because, like, you know, there's the Bob Hoskins movie, which is just I could talk about. That all
Oh
night.
my
It's
God!
so
Why do I
deeply
keep
insane.
fucking that up?
But yeah, you know, I think I've always thought if you're going to do a Mario movie, make an animated film in the Mushroom Kingdom and just go nuts. That's what they did. So it's like,
Yeah.
You know, and it's not. And again, it sounds like I'm being derogatory, but I think the same thing about the Sonic film. I think the Mario, it's like it's not for me. It's for 10-year-olds. And I think. That's
Yeah.
And I think that's, you know, because people use that as an insult. And I think 10-year-olds fucking deserve their movies, and a good movie for 10-year-olds could be enjoyed by adults as well.
Yeah,
You know?
I enjoyed it. I know that these are not going to be like mind-changing.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun time out of the movie.
It's going to be.
right?
I'm going to
Like,
go and see a Mario film or a Sonic film, and it's going to be silly, and it'll be a laugh. And,
It's a fucking Mario or Sonic
and if it's
film.
not, then it's Mario and Sonic. What are you going to expect?
And you know, if it's not going to like scratch it, because like Sonic, like, you know, it didn't scratch any mad itches. You know, like, I think the Lego movie was genuinely brilliant. Right? It shouldn't be. I think it's a genuinely brilliant script.
Lego. I saw Lego Batman before.
Okay.
So yeah, Lego movie was okay, but Lego Batman was fucking hilarious.
Oh, I like Lego movie more.
I
think
think
they're
maybe
both-
it's because I saw Batman first
They're both great.
and just didn't expect the bit where he microwaves the fucking the entire audience was pissing themselves laughing.
They're both.
But it was like,
fucking
are we
great.
actually going to watch Batman
and
for like 2.5 minutes.
There's a lot of the complexity of Batman is genuinely explored in that film, right? And the thing is about that, that's kind of what I'm driving at, is like, you know, I think there are films like that that can, I think, and it's what The Simpsons did, I think it's what the Shrek movies originally did. They satisfy everyone from the kids all the way up to the adults.
Yep.
But not all movies are going to do that. And I think Sonic was a lovely fun time, but there's not a lot to it because it's not aimed at me. And it takes it takes a really fucking, I couldn't write a movie that appeals to everyone. That's fucking madness. That's the golden goose, you know? And I think the Lego movies did that. I don't think
They
Sonic
did pretty
did.
well.
You know, I don't think Sonic did that, but it doesn't mean that I think Sonic's a bad movie and I enjoyed it. But it's not got much complexity to it, whereas like Lego movies have a kind of complexity. But it takes a fucking genius to make a movie that appeals to a 6-year-old and a 60-year-old. You know, it's not easy. And if I knew how to do it, I'd be sat on a pile of money.
Well, we'd be somewhere else. Yeah,
exactly. But I'm very happy to be watching you play Mario.
I'm not doing very well at that, but
Yeah, so I think I've just been gasbagging at you whilst you're trying to concentrate.
no, I was always shit at this bit.
It's a cunt of a game, though. I think GameCube. Like I love. Did you play Metro Prime?
I played a couple of the 2D Metroids.
Okay, yeah,
The side-scrolling ones.
I never did. I only really played Metro Prime. It's fucking amazing, man. Like, talk about sense of exploration. So it's in the first person, but it's not a traditional first person shooter. And you can turn into the morph ball and stuff. But it has this thing whereby you can use a scanner to scan all the flora and fauna, and it gives you like a little bio of what they are.
Okay.
And there are things that aren't. You can scan all the enemies, but you can scan plants and in kind of inert life forms, and it tells you about what they are and how they came there, and that can give you clues to what you have to do next. But sometimes it's just completely benign,
Just
world building.
extra info.
When I had it, I used to have a 5.1 surround system in my house, and Metro Prime, and it's got one of the most amazing soundscapes of the game. It's incredible. But the sense, like, what would be the point in that movie? Like, the sense of exploration and discovery in Metro Prime is wonderful. It's incredible, and it's such a fully realised world, and it feels so vast. It's just this really vast feeling game. And you know, the Metroidvania thing is that you revisit places with new powers to access. Yeah, and I just felt like I was a sci-fi bounty hunter trapped on a world, because like you see something, you kind of go like, and you bring up the scanner, and then it kind of goes like, this form of plant only grows near alpha radiation, da da da, and then later on it'd be like, you have to charge this with alpha radiation.
I'll go and find that sort of plant.
Where was that? Yes, you go looking for the purple plant, and some of them don't have any bearing on what you do, and some of them are for secrets. And you're walking around reading data files about things you found, and you get rewarded for scanning things, and just wonderful, like a really wonderful game. Like
I had similar things like that with Mass Effect,
right,
where they would just have so much lore that you didn't need to read.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah,
It was never suggested like you should read this because whatever. It was like, no, here's a load of information if you want to read it or have it read out to you. We've got 400 years of history for this one species of alien, and there's like 8 different species, and just the amount of effort it did make you feel fully immersed in that world.
Yeah, like it's great. What I really love about so the kind of joke at the start of Doom 2016 is you wake up in the coffin, and then you get up and you kill some zombies, and then the screen. And keeping in mind this is at the peak of kind of really bogged down narrative, kind of storytelling in first-person games, and Doom was Doom. Like it didn't happen in Doom. In Doom, you just shot
Killed
shit
things.
and found keys.
There's stuff, bang.
And in like Doom 2016, the monitor comes on, the person starts speaking to you and starts giving you story, and the Doom guy just tears it off the wall and smashes it on the floor. And it's just like, and it's as a statement of intent, it's just fucking amazing. And then what they do from that point in, like Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, I fucking love Doom Eternal so much. They're filled with lore, but it's yours if you want it. Because you go around and collect codex entries and stuff if you want to. If you want to fucking ignore it. So there's this really detailed lore to Doom and Doom Eternal that ties back to the original Doom game. But you don't have to at all. If you just want to chainsaw demons' guts out, then you chainsaw demons' guts
that's
out.
the game.
Yeah. It's great, and they constantly love making things about, like, someone exposits to the Doom guy and he just rips their head off. It happens constantly. And it's like, of course, you cannot enter this room unless you, and he just goes, and just chainsaws it. It's fucking great. It's so self-aware, and it scratches itches that Doom gives you, but I really like the Doom lore, so if I want to, I can go collect all the files, because they have these codex entries lying around, and they're collectibles, and then it's like the diaries of, you know, whatever. It's so good. Fucking love that. I love that. There's so much to talk about with Doom Eternal in particular. I just think Doom Eternal is a game where I was going to work. No, I wasn't going to work because COVID, but I was going about my day to day with my then girlfriend.
Yes, that
just
was
thinking
it.
about, like, fucking, dude, did I get everything in that level? Like, I really feel like I didn't, because I could upgrade my plasma rifle, like, tonight if I just go on it when she goes to bed. Like, you know what I mean? It's fucking, it was all about that. Yeah, I could be having sex, but whatever. Fuck it.
Could be having sex, but a plasma rifle.
Exactly. I haven't chainsawed a cyber demon yet. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, I'm going to get so much more use out of that plasma pistol than, what, 2.5 minutes?
Generously.
That's with the crying.
2.5 minutes. I'm not making a dinner.
Oh, Mr. Stud Muffin over there.
With the staying power. Oh, yeah.
Oh, bollocks.
Well, I haven't wheezed since I got here. I just tickled the can, right? Oh, it's one of mine as well. I do apologise. I'm a vile human being.
I can't pretend that my recycling bin doesn't sound like that.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It's just like knocking on the button and wiring.
Bollocks. It's been so long since I've played. Excuse me. Oh, that's the beer and a load of Parmesan garlic. Parmesan is an overrated cheese. There, I said it. Smells like sick. There we go. Oh no, my flood has been stolen. Whoa, okay. Fuck. Too bad, so sad. Okay. No, I've had my flood stolen and I think I'm about to get a game over because I'm on one of these levels.
The music's fucking great though in these.
Which looks so easy.
That's what I kind of liked about this, because it was a time. There was a time where people were ashamed of traditional platforming, and I think putting these bonus levels in and then acknowledging it with the original 1-1 music really is a statement of intent. Yeah, that's right. I make fun things boring. Welcome to being me.
You want to have fun? Tough. It's time to learn things.
You enjoying that sandwich? Let me talk about how it's a metaphor for capitalism.
I'm going to talk to you about pork markets.
I got spam earlier.
Yes, there we go.
I got spam in the
Did
game.
get spam.
Earlier. Yeah. Specially pressed American meat.
Do you remember when Liz Truss was Prime Minister?
Well, no, because it was about 30 minutes, wasn't it?
44 days, I think it was.
That's a long 44 days.
Uh,
I honestly thought like she kind of went in I went for a shit, and then I came out, and she wasn't Prime Minister anymore. But I love the delicious humiliation of her being the shortest-lived Prime Minister.
It was just embarrassing. And yet, this is...
Do you know this?
No, let's not do politics again.
But do you know the whole thing about Liz Truss? Apparently, seems to be in some kind. She's like a chained sub in a kind of BDSM relationship. Google it. It's mad. Like she wears like this necklace and stuff. There's all these signs, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But like, you know, Tories and they fucking ban everything, but also we're real kinky freaks. Like, yeah, there's loads of evidence and signs that she's in this kind of quite hot BDSM situation with her husband. Which again, I don't shame that. I think it's totally groovy. But like, they're the kind of cunts.
It's the sort of
But you're the people that invented ban the gays. Like, fuck you. You know what I mean?
Hypocrite, basically.
That's always just fucking.
But then that's all that they've always done with pretty much everything. It's like, oh, it's all right for us to do it.
Yeah. I'll do like cocaine, right? Like the fucking.
We're allowed to have a work event. I mean, Christmas party. I mean, work event.
Yeah. Did you know? Are you much of a Star Trek guy?
Not so much, to be honest with you.
Okay, I'm just gonna do this as a benefit for the watchers. I think. What? You know, 7 of 9. He's like the sexy Borg chick.
Okay. Yes, I've seen.
And I don't mean to undo. I don't mean to do down the work of Jerry Ryan, who is a wonderful actor. She's amazing. Jerry Ryan, the actor who played 7 of 9, is the reason Obama became president.
Go on.
This is great. This is so good. So basically, she was married to a Republican senator. I think I always forget how the American system works. Like a congressman or a senator in Chicago. And
yeah, I never know what's going on with the
I
American
don't
stuff.
know quite how it works, but whatever. Basically, he would run against Barack Obama, and Barack Obama was kind of like a not particularly well-known kind of politician, kind of slightly backward. But he was in Chicago, but this Republican guy would always kind of beat him down. And what happened was when Obama was running against this guy, Jerry Ryan was getting divorced from this Republican dude. And because it was a public kind of court proceeding, the contents of the case became public knowledge. And basically he'd been coercing her into kind of acts of kinky sex that she didn't want to be involved in. Like public stuff like that. And again, you know, it's all groovy, but like, you know, someone's like consenting, it's like, right.
If you like it, fine.
And
But
he basically got publicly shamed on his kind of sexual preferences and it going against the Republican base. So he lost all his support, which handed that seat to Obama. And then Obama got a shot at the presidency.
wow.
So 7 of 9 is the reason Obama became president. There we go.
I don't like that that's necessarily how it happened, but I like it when things have the little domino effect of a
Yeah,
here's
it's a kind of
butterfly. Yeah.
I fucking love Jerry Ryan. As
This
well.
because this because this led to this.
Yeah, exactly.
Like 9/11 led to 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh really?
Yes.
Go on.
So Gerard Way, lead singer of My Chemical Romance, witnessed the towers falling, which led him to put the band My Chemical Romance together. My Chemical Romance inspired the Twilight books, and 50 Shades of Grey is a fanfic of Twilight. So 50 Shades of Grey only happened because of 9/11.
Wow, amazing. Wasn't there that thing like, wasn't Jackie Chan supposed to be on one of the flights that was hijacked, but he got delayed? That was one of the things, yeah. We could have lost Jackie.
Didn't know that.
I want some future Splinter.
Yes.
That movie looks creepy, right?
That does look
Fucking
cool.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Spider-Verse
It was
energy.
advertised as from perpetual teenager Seth Rogen.
Yeah. Man, he's behind The Boys adaptation on TV.
Is he?
Rocks. Yeah.
I know it was a guy who did Supernatural, which is why
Is that Evan Goldberg?
Eric Kripke,
Oh, Eric okay.
which is why all of the Supernatural family are going to end up in that series.
Because who's the guy who plays Soldier Boy?
Jensen Ackles.
Jensen Ackles.
And Jeffrey Dean Morgan is going to be in season 4.
He is.
So
yeah.
season 5 probably going to get Jared Padalecki.
Okay, I've never watched Supernatural, so because Supernatural
It's good.
Supernatural is one of those things where there are so many shows and things and movies that I haven't watched, that I have a somewhat working knowledge of owing to memes.
Yeah.
Like, so the algorithm is trying to constantly give me Supernatural and Game of Thrones memes. I don't watch either of those things, but I've learned a bunch about them.
Oh, Supernatural has a meme and a GIF for everything.
I've noticed sometimes I'll just be like searching a GIF for shoelaces, and I'll see those Supernatural guys in there.
And it will be from that episode with the Lucky Rabbit's foot where Sam gets his foot stuck down a drain and loses a shoe.
Whoa.
There's so many GIFs for everything.
I was just putting a fucking thing out the air.
Yeah.
Wow. How many seasons is it?
I'm about to say, this is what happens when you have 15 seasons of TV.
Not a lot goes for 15 seasons.
I've
Not
even finished it yet because I don't really want to, because it was there for 15
but
years.
It's finished.
It's finished. Okay. It was only meant to run for 5 seasons.
Fuck. They squeezed
which
out
is
another
why
10
season
years.
1 to 5 are fantastic, and then season 6, 7, and 8 are a bit. Oh, you've got another couple of seasons. Didn't plan on that, did you?
And then it kind of comes back.
And then they sort
again,
of go. Then they sort of go. Okay, yeah, it does then improve again.
It's mad for continuous run, isn't it? Because things like Star Trek and Doctor Who have their obvious breaks where it resets. Like Star Trek is like, this is a different show now. It's Voyager. Whereas Doctor Who is just like, yeah, we've replaced everyone.
Everyone's been replaced several times.
This is effectively a new show.
So much of the stuff has exploded.
It's effectively a new show. There's so much creatively got, Whereas when it's just that run, like that, 15 seasons of just like, no, this is the same thing. Doesn't happen often,
I do hope that with Doctor Who they undo the whole. The Doctor's from another universe.
It doesn't appear that Russell T Davies. I wouldn't expect that from Russell T Davies. I think he respects what comes before, no matter how bonky it is.
Yeah, but it's...
So if it's going to happen, he's not going to be the one that does it. I think.
But this is the whole thing about the chosen one is always just immediately takes about. This happens to me because I'm special.
It's so trite.
It needs to be that just immediately makes you not really
it's not
care.
Interesting. It's not interesting because what is?
The Doctor is immortal, can't be killed, can't possibly die. Cool, you've made any time I rewatch Doctor Who, even the moments when I'm like, oh no, I've seen this episode before, I know that they're going to survive. There's no threat. Because they're impossible to
remember the TV movie with Paul McGann?
I know of it, yes.
Well, the Timeless Child of the 90s was that the TV movie established that he was half human. Never mentioned again, endlessly contradicted.
Okay.
So that's the way. Doctor Who, man, is so amorphous. Like, I would.
Oh, I nearly jumped into that.
Is it like a mixer?
That's a meat grinder.
That's not fun. Yeah, that's a bit much for a Mario game, isn't it? Yeah, so, I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Yeah.
It does do a nice thing whereby you could just have anyone come and play a past Doctor now, which is great. So I think when they squeaked in John Hurt as the War Doctor, it was like a movie star turned up playing the Doctor.
That was cool.
It's amazing. So cool. So, they have that now. I mean, and they've hinted at it before. There's a whole Doctor Who lore thing I could go on about.
The one where said that Doctor was originally born as a girl.
Well, there's the Brains of Morbius, which is a Tom Baker one, which hinted that there were other Doctors we didn't know about. And
yes, I remember seeing about that.
The Timeless Child is a take on, I think, of the Cartmel Master Plan, which was supposed to reveal that the Doctor was like a reincarnation of an ancient Time Lord. And it's like, yeah, but it's more interesting when he's a rank and file Time Lord that just buggered off because he doesn't have their shit.
Yeah.
That's more interesting to me. Like, Chosen One narratives are so fucking trite. Is that coin getting away from you?
It's swimming.
Yeah.
Get back here, you bastard.
Yay! There you go. So what does the blue coin do?
You collect 10 of them and then you can get a star in a shop.
Oh, okay.
I did love, I remember watching Peter Capaldi's one. I liked Peter Capaldi.
He's my favourite.
And not Michelle Rodriguez. Michelle
Gomez.
Michelle Gomez, thank you.
So good.
As Missy, the Master, I thought that was the best thing The only thing I didn't like was the fact that we wouldn't get to see John Sim as the Master again.
But
And then he fucking did.
Oh my god.
And you're like, not only is John Sim the Master again, but I think they might fuck each other.
Yeah, oh, it was great. Oh, I loved that. I loved Peter Capaldi's finale. I'm old enough that Sylvester McCoy was on when I was a kid. Like, that was the one, Scottish Doctor. And then I loved John Pertwee. Like, I love John Pertwee. I used to Tom Baker used to watch, but I love John Pertwee because he was kind of a cunt. That's sort of what I liked. And then more recently, I really love David Tennant. I really love Matt Smith. But when people...
I love David. I can't rewatch David Tennant. David Tennant was my Doctor. But Matt Smith is the one that I will go back and rewatch.
I think a lot of people are like that.
There's a few David Tennants that I will easily watch, but I can skip over a lot of Tennants because it was very CBBC for a bit.
Oh, massively, yeah. But that's what got us back. Yeah, that's what brought Doctor Who back, you know. And by the way, fucking, oh my god, another person, Chris Eccleston's one of my favourite actors. I sort of let him have it when I was a kid. I love Chris Eccleston. When they announced it, and it was Chris Eccleston, and I fucking love the Ninth Doctor. But like, Chris Eccleston is one of my favourite actors. It was like, Doctor Who's coming back, and it's Christopher Eccleston. Fuck me. And then he only did a series, and David Tennant was like, who's this fucking prick? As you always do, and it's like, oh my god, this is incredible, please never leave. And then he leaves and Matt Smith comes on and he's like, who's this fucking prick? And then almost every time, except with Peter Capaldi, that was the one where I was just like, he's the Doctor. Yeah, he's a Doctor. And he walked out on that reveal during the William Hartnell thing. But what I love about Capaldi, because I love Capaldi anyway, but I really love his run of episodes. I think it gets better with it. It kind of was, I was weird at the time, but watching them back, I really love them. But he channels John Pertwee so much, where he's kind of a cunt. But he also does the Colin Baker thing, where Colin Baker's soft. Look at that reflection on the panel. It looks amazing.
At that. Look at it.
When Colin Baker's Doctor softened over time, Capaldi mirrors that. And the thing with Capaldi's Doctor is like the longer his hair gets, the nicer he is. Like so, like the third series with. I really love the third series with Bill Mackey as Pal, and he's so paternal. And he's so warm. I like
Matt Smith as Nardole as well. Not Matt Smith.
Matt
Lucas.
George Dawes. Yeah, I never thought that character would come back.
No, and he did.
Like, comes back as the main character.
Yeah.
I love that series. I love Capaldi. I think Capaldi's my favourite on that basis. He kind of channels Pertwee. But I also think, like, you know, I love all the Doctors. In their ways.
They've all got their own little bits.
They've all got something, you know.
I think Jodie Whittaker was done dirty.
She was done dirty because she's great, but
she was awesome. But it was
Shibnall was shit.
It was not.
Shibnall was shit, and I love Jodie Whittaker, but it's like they gave her no. All she had to do was stand around mugging, and it's like she's so much better than this, and you're just not giving her the material. Like it was
poor writing. It didn't matter who. Doesn't matter who your favourite Doctor is, if they were given the scripts that Whittaker was given. Yeah. I'm not saying that it's easy to write scripts. I've never written for Doctor Who.
Right, yeah.
I haven't.
I haven't that I know about, I'm pretty sure.
But yeah, it was just...
Yeah, it's...
evil bubble wrap.
Yeah, it's just...
What's going on there?
It's just... Do you know what, like... I think with a lot of the Jodie Whittaker ones, because Doctor Who is always high camp. It always is, right? So when people go like, well, that episode was shit because a stupid thing happened, it's like, no, that's Doctor Who. I think the problem with the Jodie Whittaker ones is they were like really mundane quite often. And then there's a really kind of hand-wringing sort of historic, because Doctor Who should have its historical episodes, but the really hand-wringing ones. And it's like, because I think like what I liked about Jodie Whittaker Doctor Who was like how it annoyed Gammons. You know what I mean? Because it's like it's so woke. And it's like Doctor Who was always woke.
Oh, I love when people go, "Oh no, it's a man. It's this. It should be this." The thing that I would say to people, and I remember saying this to a bloke outside the pub once. I went, "If you're watching a TV series about I think 2 billion year old alien time traveling shape-shifting thing, if you're thinking that what the actors' genitals look like, I don't think you're really watching the show properly."
It's an immortal shape-shifting alien.
We don't know that they've got genitals.
Yeah, you're getting mad.
We know that they look a bit they look human because they're played by a human.
Yeah.
Are you really cross about that? And he went, I'm really annoyed with you because you've made a fucking good point. And I was like, yeah. I don't think you're moaning about Doctor Who if you're moaning about that. You're moaning about something else.
Yeah, this is saying more about you than it is about the show. You're mad that the immortal shape-shifting alien might have a fanny. Like, why do you care? Like, it's, yeah, it's interesting. I think, man, have you seen Ncuti Gatwa's costume? He's like a Technicolor Shaft. He looks amazing. You know, like Shaft had the big brown coat?
Yeah.
He's like wearing a big brown coat, and then he's got like a kind of open button shirt. So he's got a bit, it's kind of slightly coloured a bit like the Jodie Whittaker one. He looks so fucking cool. He looks amazing, and I'm like, I haven't watched Sex Education.
Nor have I.
I've not seen him in anything.
I wanted to see it because Rosie Jones is one of the writers on that, or is the writer, and I think she's hilarious.
I don't know anything about Ncuti Gatwa, but like I've seen, I'm just like he looks cool. Russell T Davies chose him. Right, like, and he chose fucking Chris Franklin and David Tennant. I'm just like, yeah, I'm fully here for it, and he looks. Hold on, I'm going to show you Ncuti Gatwa's fucking Doctor costume because he looks so fucking cool. Because we're getting Tennant back, right? You know.
Yeah, Tennant's back for a couple of episodes.
Yeah, he's doing three specials. So this is the one
that was kind of surprising because they were like, oh yeah, they're regenerate.
Here's the one they revealed, which is cool. That's cool. I really like that. But this, I can only find a kind of that with the fucking Shaft coat and the jeans. He's all like 1970s.
Nice.
Fucking well cool. Bang up for that. Yeah, look at the kind of opened up rainbowy shirt.
Yes.
And what I also like is that, well, the Doctor should be a man. Cool. That includes a black gay man. That's fucking amazing. Yes, there you go. Have your black gay doctor, you gammon cunt. Fucking amazing. Yeah, looking forward to that. I think it's very good. I think because Stephen Moffat stuck around for so long, that was kind of the middle of the revival. People forget that Russ Tedderis only did 3 series, and they were like immensely camp, and it's why they were great. But like, I think people preferred the Matt Smith era because it was a bit of a tonal change, and it had a bit of more class to it.
I liked those ones because, like, if I wanted, there's probably like 3 or 4 episodes per series of his that I will still cry at or get damn close.
It's one of the few things that miss me up, man. I feel like I'm an unfeeling monster until I watch Doctor Who, and I'm like, shit, I'm all over about this. I don't really put there was a weird kind of time where you would get. Like the strange when Netflix was a no man's land, and there was a brief time where they had some of modern Who, and then they had some of classic Who.
Yeah.
Do you remember it was the only streaming service? That kind of weird time.
Yeah, that was a time of a happier bank account.
Well, fucking there was. So basically, Netflix had some of Star Trek, and then I was a really early adopter of Netflix, and I was going to get rid of it, and then Netflix had literally all of Star Trek, and I was like, well, I'm paying £7 for a Star Trek delivery system. That's fine. And you know what? I cancelled Netflix only 2 years ago. I had it since 2012. I had like a 9-year thing with Netflix, and then Paramount Plus came out, and I was like, but that it's the same price for my Star Trek delivery system, and I could just go watch random episodes of Voyager whenever I fucking want. I could just chuck on Deep Space Nine. I could watch all the movies, 1 to 6, the Kirk ones, they're the good ones. I could just fucking crack in anytime I like, all of it, random episodes, and the new stuff's been a mixed bag. But right now they're doing really good new stuff and whatever. But I literally was having because there was a time when all the new Who was on Netflix as well, but now all the new Who is on BBC iPlayer. Because iPlayer didn't used to have archive stuff, did it? It was just what had been on in the last month, and now it's all fucking.
I have no idea what I'm doing here.
Are you from the UK? Says Sensible. It's 3:26 AM. We are, and it is, or it was. It's not anymore.
Oh yeah. Hi.
We gotta watch her. We gotta watch her. On the YouTube.
It's now 3:41:55.
I can't go home. Christ. The thing is, I sleep on my mum's couch. I don't go into bed, so she's gonna get up and have her tea at 9 in the morning.
Oh,
bless her.
You've got
She actually does. She goes through the back door to the kitchen to not wake me up. It's very sweet.
Oh.
But
I'm gonna exit the area and go and buy some Stars.
Stars. Stars. Resident Evil 3, man. Cool. Amazing.
Yeah, when I work at the pub at the moment, I stay at my grandma's, and I swear I don't know.
Is it Norwich?
No, this is in Cambridge, just nearer to where I'm working. And her spare room, basically, the curtains are so fucking thin that they may as well not exist.
Right.
So when I was staying there last, I went to sleep with I took my t-shirt off and put the head over my eyes like this, so it was some big fucking mask. I look like some Daredevil. Like Daredevil had got stuck halfway through getting undressed.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I woke up and I had all these creases and I had a big scar-looking
like a
thing down there.
scar.
I was like, aha! I look cool, but really stupid.
I've always craved the dueling scar. And also, I think I'd look quite good in an eye patch in the Dennis Hopper Immortal world.
Yes, DD, it is time for us to be falling asleep on a stream. But we can't do that. We can't do that because... Spicy Chai Bunny, 9.1 bad guy 0. Spicy Chai, you're not...
Spicy Chai's gone, my friend.
Oh no, but she's not spam. Apparently you're not allowed to have more than 3.
Messages.
Apparently 3 emojis counts as...
Oh, for the love of God. Ben, I'm going to leave you soon, mate.
That's fair. Yay, I've
I'm
stopped this person being on fire.
Like 4:30.
Leave
What?
him on
What? Do you work in the...
Live and let live.
Live and let live?
Live and let live now.
Damn.
Well, for the next couple
Are you
of weeks.
lined up for a job in Norwich, though?
Yes, without doxing myself.
Yeah, of course. That's the thing on streams. Don't give too much away. That's the... Good, lovely, great, good to hear. That's all I want to know.
Yeah,
Because
my
if you named it, I don't know Norwich.
my buddy who I'm moving in with is manager of this new place in Norwich. So pretty much when I get there, I'll be like, hey, I live with the manager. As soon as the job pops up, mine please.
Excellent, yeah, and it's not like you don't have the experience, right? You can just walk into
And
it.
then I know that there's plenty of pubs and that.
Yeah, Norwich is a good pub scene, isn't it?
And almost once you've worked in one, you can work in pretty much any of them. That's the...
I did my time in the pen.
Yeah.
How it goes. I gotta go, Ben.
Cool.
Falling asleep. How long are you, when does Liam wake up? When's
Liam
your
wakes
nap?
up in a couple of hours.
Oh, mate,
I will.
best of luck to you, brother.
Right, I'm going to say goodbye to Jackson. I'm going to BRB you peeps. Enjoy the advert again.
Hello,